For 4 years for me, when I was at my last job, I read every review.
Oof.
Hear
How do
me
you
out.
do that?
Every
Mm.
review from Google, TripAdvisor, Yelp, and there's one more or something like that. And not only did I read them, but I responded to every positive and negative comment that I would get every morning for four
Oh,
years. And after that, and like I said, like kitchens make mistakes, I make mistakes. I'm an expert at what I do. There's no doubt about it. There's not a lot of people that I've cooked for that said, "Man, dude, that wasn't too
right.
good." And I'm okay with saying that because I know it's true. I know I'm a good cook. But you can't see every dish, you can't oversee every night, and so on and so forth. Like things happen. That's just the way it is, and I know that. And so maybe that's 5%, but after 4 years of every day and 5% every day, it's like your heart keeps tabs on it. And then after those 4 years, I had to like I had to say, you know what? I started feeling things I shouldn't have
Right.
felt, and started thinking things I shouldn't have thought, and started acting ways towards people that I didn't have any manner acting towards. And I was like, I something is off in my life. I stopped doing that. I gave it to somebody else because it needs to happen. You need to address. You need to say thank you to the people who said, "Loved your food, great night. It was a great birthday dinner. Thanks for coming in. Let me know next time you're in. I'd love to say hello." That's a great response. But you also have to be willing to talk to I believe, and I do this on YouTube comments through Duck Camp dinners too, and you can read them. I'll go through the comments and I'll respond to as many people as I can every day. And even the ones that say like, "This show is shitty. There's not enough hunting and you're too sentimental talking about wetlands conservation." And I'm like, "Thanks for following
Right.
along, I'm glad you tuned in. I disagree, but keep on watching. Maybe you'll like it. So I don't know. I feel like it's worth it in a lot of ways. But from those 4 years when I was a young chef and I was reading it every day, I don't know. There's certainly you can feel like how that could. And you think about a chef that's doing that for 20 years.
So how did you decide to go down that rabbit hole of let me look at every comment that somebody's saying about my restaurant? What clicked in your brain and said, "Hey, this will be beneficial to me"?
I want it to be accessible. I wanted to people. I took over a restaurant that was 12 years old. Okay. It was kind of a legacy restaurant in the restaurant group I was working at. But they came to me and they wanted the menu to be freshened up. They wanted a new point of view. So I knew that look, there's people that go to restaurants that order the same thing every day,
That's
right?
me.
Like, and if you take that off the menu, like they're not going to be happy, right? Even if it's the lowest seller, like that's how we look at a menu mix. Some things sell 20 a night, some things sell 5 a night. If the thing that sells 5 a night over the course of every night, you're like, okay, I probably need to replace this menu item. It's not selling well. It's a high food cost for me. It takes a lot of prep work on the back end, so on and so forth. But those 5 people that used to order that when they came in, they're gonna freaking tell you about it. They're gonna tell you about it, and they don't care that it didn't make you any money. It wasn't a good business decision to keep it on. They just care about the thing that they came in for every week was gone. And I'm like, I get it. And so I felt because I made those decisions like that was the decision that I made to a restaurant that had been around for longer than I had been there. And I felt it was my responsibility to address that. So, but for the most part, I've always felt, and this is, even in my career, the way it's going right now, even in like, I think it's so important from the social media standpoint to answer every comment that goes on here, and not just with like
Yeah,
a
I
praise
hate
hand
that.
emoji.
I hate that. What?
If somebody comments with just an emoji, I'll respond
Right.
back to them. But if somebody tells me something, I'm gonna write a complete sentence, mention their name, and say thank
Yes.
you. And I don't know. I mean, I think maybe that's old. I don't know if that's old fashioned or new fashioned or just common courtesy. But I feel like I just always wanted to be present. I always wanted to be somebody that people can talk to. I am like, that's just the nature of me, wants to interact with people. Like, I want to be giving advice or hearing criticisms. It's not always easy, but that's how you grow. You know, like, you better listen to the whispers before they become screams. Exactly right. You know what I mean? So like, people keep telling you something over and over again, those whispers are going to become something. They're not going to be positive or negative, right? But you know, I think that's those comments, whether that's on Yelp reviews or YouTube or Instagram, it's your insight of how people are reacting to the story you're telling, you know. And it maybe would have been easier to ignore it and delete it and say, fuck it, those guys don't know what they're talking about. I'm the boss here. But that also, you know, doesn't allow you to grow as a human, as a professional, you know. So I don't know.
I just know how the internet skews negative. And so, you know, you go, I mean, I think it's commendable what, you know, kind of what you thought you were going to do, but I just know how the internet, the negative is 10 times as large as probably what it is in real life. And I don't know. I just worry about your mental health. I mean, obviously, you know, that's over with, and you're not in that world anymore as a chef running a restaurant. But I just know how the internet skews towards the negative side of things, and I just worry that if you dove in that way, it would not be good for your mental health in the long run.
You're 100% right. And if I would known what I know now as a 37-year-old, which I didn't know as a 30-year-old, and I was the youngest executive chef in the restaurant group. It was a multi-unit business, grossing over $20 million a year between businesses, over 150 employees. And it was my first executive chef job. It was a lot to, you know, and I've always kind of considered myself to be I'm not going to say an overachiever, but an over deliverer. Like I want to be that person that exceeds the expectation of what somebody's given me. And so, you know, in a lot of ways that was just me trying everything I could to connect with people. And maybe that worked a lot of times. Like now I have people that follow me on Instagram that say, ever since you, and there was like, I forget this guy's name, but it was a bad review. I responded back in a professional way. He came back in, turned him around. He became a lifer at the restaurant, and he follows me on Instagram. He comments on every post, you know, like all these different things. And I still, you know, we chat over direct message. How you doing? How's the kids? And so on. And that was from a bad interaction. And I don't know. I think I'd like to believe that I could bring some positivity into this world, into those negative comments. And I can't change everyone. Shoot, I could probably only change a small fraction of them. But maybe somebody just needs to be shown some love and some, you know, another way of like responding to things. It happened on a recent episode, maybe like episode 3 or 4. You know, some guy from Canada or something commented on my weight, right? Commented on how like bad we or something like that. And like, all my friends that in the crew, they all comment too on the threads, by the way. Like you'll see Jesse Lagarde, Mike Bruder, Jay Scheck-Snyder, Ben Robichaux, and they're commenting on YouTube, and they just jumped all over this guy. And I'm just like, look, it's cool, man. Like, if you even got to bother to know my story, how I used to weigh 350 pounds, I lost 100 pounds. Men's Health did an article on me. I gained 50 pounds back, and that's when we shot the show. That's just me. My weight swings. I got to work hard to lose it, but it's real easy for me to gain it.
Are you a stress eater?
No, I don't know. I don't think I'm a stress eater. My big thing is I overeat. And
go there. I'm
like
Jeff. You can't.
I just have this bottomless.
Right, you can't see Jeff, but he's a bigger guy, but he's a stress eater. I mean, we've got a lodge out here that it's 7 days a week, hunters, and listen.
It's just not stress eating. I like to fucking eat.
Well,
I don't no more. I had stomach surgery 3 months ago, but if I didn't, I weighed 350 and now I'm down to like 265. But I like to eat, and I still like to eat. I just can't eat much of nothing no more. But I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But also I'm this. I'm not sensitive about my weight. If someone wants to call me a fat ass or something, they're going to have to go way, way deep down to hurt my feelings. I mean, fuck, I got a mirror in my house. I know that. I ain't stupid. I'm not stupid, and I have glasses. I know. So I don't get hurt if someone says something about my weight. But
and it's not creative either. It's like that's the best you got. Like you were pissed at me, and the best you got was calling me a fat ass. Like that's it. Like
I can hurt your feelings, but you're not going to hurt mine.
I'm going to sleep just fine at night, knowing you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a biscuit before I go to bed, probably with some ice cream or something. But I'm not even going to lose sleep over you calling me a fat ass.